Right, guys and girls, going to wait for a few bodies to get in, and then we'll crack on and do the introductions. Right, bear with me, guys. Okay, so why can't I see the bloody chat? Well, this is rather random. So I can see the live feed, but I can't see the chat. Yo, Luke, Tezza and Shawnee Boy. So I'm just trying to figure out why the chat isn't showing up on the second monitor. This doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Okay, let's try on here. Come on and do the conga. Can we see the chat now? Yay, we can see the chat now. Let's mute that. We don't need to hear my voice twice. So we are waiting on the delivery man. The delivery man is going to be bringing a water cooler and all white fans to go inside this build. So we are using a Z390 Pro MSI motherboard. We are pairing that with an i5 9600KF, and also that is going to be paired with the 1660 gigabyte graphics card, along with a 1 terabyte NVMe drive to go in there as well as some T-Force white RAM that will be going in the build as well. So yeah, and a 700 watt power supply to go along with that as well, guys. So as per normal, we start off with the motherboard and we add as much of the stuff to the motherboard as possible. Let's turn this camera around a little bit if I can. Sorry about the shakiness. This is what happens when the little darling children decide to play with the tripod. Again, sorry about the shakiness. As you can see, we've got one PC right here, which is Dean's. This is waiting on one SATA cable, and once that SATA cable arrives, this PC is done, being collected tomorrow. This PC at the back is Lacey's PC, and this is another surprise build. I can't say too much because I don't know if the person that asked me to do this, if the person they asked me to do this for will be watching. Right, so without any further ado, we're going to jump in and we're going to start placing everything directly onto the board. So the chip, the RAM, and the NVMe drive. So we're going to take this out of here. Just place this on the table. So yeah, when doing this sort of thing, it's always advised, you know, use the top of the box. So we can take this out of the bag. So how are you doing today, Tez, Luke, Shawnee? So there we go. There is the motherboard, the MSI Z390. Quite a nice board. But if any of you know me, you know that I am a bit of a snob when it comes to motherboards, and I prefer ASUS motherboards in all three of my well, actually, yeah, in all three of my builds. I have ASUS motherboards. Well, that's good to hear, Tezza. Keep smiling, laddie. Keep smiling. Right, so here is the white T-Force RAM. I've never used T-Force RAM before. I've always had HYPERX in most of my builds, but this RAM was absolutely beautiful. So that's why we picked this particular RAM. Here's one. You know, one, it's white, and two, it's RGB. So, you know, look at that. Gorgeous RAM, that. So, I'm going to start putting this together. And if you have learned anything from me over the years of building computers, you should know that we always use dual channel memory. And you got to make sure you put these in the right way around, line them up, make sure the notch in the actual seat. It's always normally it's label side to the left, but this is being a little bit awkward. Let's get this squared up. Right, there we go. There's one RAM card in. And like I said, label side, if you can see this here, label side where the label is normally goes on the left. That's not for every RAM card, but 9 times out of 10, most of the RAM cards that I have installed tend to go in this orientation. So we're now going to get the CPU out of the box as well. Like I said, this is a 9600 i5. As I say, this person's going to be playing things like Call of Duty and stuff like that. So went with the RAM that we picked is 3600 megahertz, and that's 16 gig of that. And then for the, like I said, the CPU, went with an i5 9600 KF because it doesn't need its own dedicated graphics, because it has a dedicated graphics card over there. So again, release the tension arm, lift the door up, make sure that you align. There is a little gold triangle in the bottom corner here. You can probably just see it. And that goes in the bottom left corner of the motherboard. So you just seat this in, you know, give it a little rock backwards and forwards, make sure it's properly seated, close down the lid, and then you just add a little bit of pressure and the cover automatically pops out. You don't need to worry about trying to force the cover out, it will automatically pop out. So we've done the RAM, we've done the CPU, we're now going to take the NVMe drive out and put this into the board. So I do need to, I'm definitely going to have to get some extra lighting, you know, for when doing these sorts of videos, because it is a bit doom and gloom in here, isn't it? So let me see if I can actually go and grab one of my lights and brighten it up in here a little bit. Right, so I've managed to find me light. I just need to mount it to the tripod, put some more light on the situation. I wonder if my little stalker in zone's out there somewhere today. Come on, Mr. InZone, show your face if you're there, bro. We all know that you like stalking in Dr. Dave's streams. or Jason or Lee, they like to get up to no good as well. Right. I'm going to grab me some cable ties. Going to cable tie the light to this tripod that I have the camera on already, just to make life a little bit easier. Sorry if you get any vibration through the camera again. Right, there we go. So turn that on. Way, yo Lee Gaming, how's it going, bro? Right, so there we go. We got a little bit of light on the situation. So, like I said, we have got the CPU in, and we've also got the RAM in. We're just about to put the NVMe in, and we are going to get rid of this rubbish that's on the desk. Nice one, Lee, glad to hear it. And then inside this box should be some bits and pieces. So we've got the rear I/O shield. And this is what I was looking for, this tiny little baggie here. Has the camera gone all fuzzy? Yes, it bloody has. Come on, focus, dickhead. Right, so we're going to chuck this lot back in here, make sure we get those out. Right, so this little tiny NVMe drive. Oh, Mr. Lavis is going in here. Let's make sure we put the little standoff in the correct place. Just like that. I can't say on stream, Lavis. It's not for any of my boys. It's a present for somebody else. So my little blue screwdriver has gone walkabouts somewhere. Yeah, it's not for any of the DDL boys. It's a present for a friend's girlfriend. So I can't say out loud too much. always one bloody little screw that wants to do a runner, isn't there? But yeah, this is, like I said, a friend of mine contacted me and asked me to put a nice little build together. So that's what I'm doing. So this stuff wasn't meant to arrive until Monday, which, you know, I was like, yes, that gives me plenty of time to get everything sorted and ready to go. And then it all arrived today, which was a bit of a shock. So nevertheless, the quicker it gets built, the quicker that she can enjoy a bit of gaming. So how have you been, Lavis? Right, so CPU is in, RAM is in, M.2 is in. That is about as much as we can do with the motherboard side of things right now. Other than start to unbox the case and put this into the case. So that will be what is next. I need to go and unpack the case out of the box. The case panel was blown. You mean the front I/O system where you turn it on and off? Is that what you're talking about, Lavis? Right, I'm just getting the case, guys. Right, so we've got the case. Oh, nice, Lavis. What did you do to it? So as you guys know, I absolutely love white cases. There's a white case here, which is Dean's PC. And then there's also a white case at the back, which is Lacey's PC. And here is another white case. And if you remember seeing this case before, this one right here, this Corsair case, the reason why is because it's exactly the same case that I got for Ian for his birthday. Massey Power Lee! I'm all gravy, baby. So also the person that I'm building this PC for doesn't want any black fans inside this PC. So the black fans that are currently inside are going to be coming out. And when Amazon arrives a little bit later on, we've got a white water cooler and 6 white fans to install. So yeah, it's gonna be amazing, absolutely amazing. My house is turning into PC world, I tell you, and that ain't no joke either. So like I said, this PC wasn't these parts for this PC weren't meant to arrive until Monday, which was giving me time to get this PC that's currently in front of the camera right at the front there. That was that's getting picked up tomorrow because that one's just been finished being upgraded. That has two 240mm water coolers on that particular build. The graphics card and the CPU are both water cooled. So yeah, that build's taken me a couple of days to do. It was rather fun little build. I actually got to water cool a graphics card for the first time. So it wasn't easy by any length of the imagination, because the particular kit that we bought was the only one available through NZXT, and it was for a 10 series graphics card, not a 20 series. So I had to do a little bit of modification to the mounting bracket to make it fit on the 20 series graphics card, but we got it all done, and it looks fantabby-dozy. I say the graphics card doesn't get any hotter than 40C now either. So, and that's under full load. So yeah, I did a stress test on that graphics card. 2060 Super under 100% full load got to 41 point something C, which was really, really amazing to see. So like I said, the guy that asked me to build this doesn't want any black fans in it whatsoever. So all of the black fans are coming out, and like I said, Amazon should be delivering shortly. There'll be a white water cooler and all white fans in here. So that's not just the blades. I mean, that's all the surround of the fan as well. So everything that's going in this case, other than the motherboard, all the accessories are white. It's going to look absolutely amazing. We do need to remove the back panel of this case quickly. Right, what we're going to do is going to move this motherboard out of the way for the time being, because we don't need it right this minute. So that can go down there. And then we can concentrate on getting the case ready. So I've got the bedroom door open so I can listen out for the Amazon man. So this is going to be one of the cleanest white builds I've ever done. Right, so we are unplugging all of this. Got the lovely little gobshites outside screaming their heads off, so you might be able to hear that. Right, so these come out then. Little clippy doodads. 1, 2, 3. Jason. It's telling me, they keep sending me emails. The company has delivered your PC parts. Well, I fucking know that because they're right here in front of me. Yeah, Jason, I'm all good, mate. I am literally stripping this case apart, taking all the fans out of it because the fans are not going to be used. These fans will probably go into a build of mine later on, as they're not being used in this build. Well, the person I'm actually building this for, Jason, it's a gift to his girlfriend / wife, and these fans are currently black, and he doesn't want any black in the build other than on the motherboard. So yeah, I'm waiting on Amazon to deliver me some white fans to go into this build. So all the black ones will be stored away and then used in a later build. So all the fans are white, the radiator is white, the RAM is white. I did originally try and get a white, right, so we're going to pull all of this back through the case, get this all out of the way. So we need to, yeah, this one, I think this one's coming with a 360mm rad on this one, Jason, as far as I'm aware. There is going to be a 1660 graphics card going in here. It is a Gigabyte 1660 OC edition, which is the overclocked edition of the 1660. And there's always one corner of these little back IO shields that says, "Not today, sir." There we go. So it's just a case of now mounting the motherboard. The CPU is a i5 9600KF. So if anybody is wondering what the difference between the K, the non-K and the KF models are, the non-K series of CPU cannot be overclocked. So they are just a standard CPU with no overclocking ability. And then the K series can be overclocked, And then the KF series means that it doesn't have any on-board graphics on the CPU. So if you buy a KF chip and then you plan to use the HDMI or whatever on the motherboard, well, you would be completely and utterly shit out of luck, because you wouldn't have any graphics on the actual chip. And I need to figure out why this camera keeps auto-focusing, because it is currently doing my tits in. Oh, this is an absolute gorgeous case. Absolute gorgeous case. Right, so for some reason this camera keeps auto-focusing and I don't want it to. This particular case was £69.99 off of box.co.uk website. So yeah, 70 quid this case. It's a Corsair case. It is called the T220. But like I said, the guy that asked me to build this doesn't want any black in the system other than the graphics card and the motherboard. So the 3 fans that came included with this, which are the Corsair WW series RGB fans, these ones right here, these have been removed from the build, and we're getting some SP, which is the silent profile fans, to go in here. So there'll be 6 of the white SP silent profile fans going into this PC. Here is the motherboard with the white RAM and RGB RAM. So yeah, it's going to be looking fantabby-dozy. Just line this up inside the case. What we're going to do is we're going to put one screw in the board, and then we're going to check the rear I/O to make sure that the rear I/O shield hasn't poked any metal into any of the grommets in the back of the case. So we're just going to grab one of these out of here, just to nip it up so it doesn't fall out when we turn the case round. Sometimes with the I/O shields that go on the back, if you don't know what an I/O shield is, the I/O shield is basically the part where you insert your USBs and stuff on the back of the motherboard, and that fancy little plate that goes around the outside of your USBs, etc., etc., is known as the I/O shield. So like I said, I'm just nipping one screw in there for the minute. Yo, Special K in the house. Yeah, so basically what can happen with the old I/O shield is there's little tabs, and sometimes if the tabs are not bent in the right orientation, then you'll find that one of the tabs will slip and go into one of the open ports. So what you tend to do is you tend to just bend the tabs back just a little bit Make sure that they clear all of the sockets, the Ethernet sockets, the USB, type B and C, the display port. You know, you just make sure everything is nice and clean and there is none of the metal tabbing going into any of the particular holes in the back of the case. So I'm now going to turn this on its back, like so. See that motherboard is seated in there very nicely. So we can just go round and now nip up the rest of the screws. I say I can get a majority of this done today. I am waiting on the fans and the water cooler, and also the 2 terabyte hard drive to arrive. I'm also waiting for a SATA cable splitter, a 1 into 2 SATA splitter to allow me to power up Dean's new hard drive as well. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get a little bowl so I don't lose any of these screws. You know, whenever you see me building a PC, 9 times out of 10 you'll see me with one of these little plastic bowls. These plastic bowls come in absolutely handy. You know, I've got kids, so they're ready available in my house, and they hold the little screws perfectly. None of them are going to jump out the bowl unless I'm stupid enough to knock it off the side. And it's just a case of grabbing the particular screw that you need and just installing it. Nip it up. Don't be swinging on the screws like a fucking banshee, because there's no need. You just need to nip them up. Nip them up hand tight and in a quarter of a turn, like I said in the last video. And try not to use the wrong size screwdriver head. You will strip the heads out on these little tiny screws, and then when you want to take your motherboard out, you won't be able to get the fucker out because you fucked up the head of the screw. And then you're looking at either drilling it out, Dremel it, some way of getting it out. And if you haven't got the means to do so, that's going to cost you more money. And nobody likes spending more money to somebody else when building a PC. You want to keep all your money in your pocket for upgrades and extras. Right. Yo, yo, yo. Mr. Charlton in the house. And this is also another reason why I use rubber coated screwdrivers when I'm also working inside a PC or anything electronic. It's, as you just saw, the screwdriver dropped, hit the case, but because it's all rubber, not a metal finish, we don't damage any of the case. So Yeah, Jay, I'm all good, lad. I'm all good. Say, like I said, just cracking on, getting on with this build for a friend of mine. So on a motherboard, if any of you have actually installed a motherboard before, I mean JC has, so he'll know. You tend to find that you have a row of three screws along the top, a row of three screws along the middle, and a row of three screws along the bottom side. But you'll find that the gap distance between this one in this corner over here and this one here is a large gap, and then these two on this side will be closer together. You know, it's just the way that the pins are lined up on the back of the case, and so that, you know, the power phases and the plugins on the bottom don't get in the way of the particular screw holes. So there we go. We've got the motherboard, CPU, RAM, and the 1 TB NVMe drive all installed. We're now going to jump on to installing the power supply. I think, no, actually, before we do the power supply, I think we'll do the front I/O. Say I'm still waiting for Mr. Amazon Man to arrive, and then once Mr. Amazon Man arrives, then we can install the water cooler yo-yo radar. We can install the water cooler and also the new fans. Right, so we've got the front I/O connectors, which is these little pins here. We've got the USB 3, the audio. We also need to plug in the fan hub, which is right here on the back of the case, and also we need a SATA connector, which will be provided on the motherboard. So let's start getting this all plumbed in. Like I said, I can do a majority of this bit, but you know, we are, like I said, we are waiting on Mr. Amazon to come and drop off a few parts. Right, this needs to go back through here and then. Make sure that is the carry port over that side. Yep. See, the manufacturers of these cases don't give you much, you know, much wiggle room to get these little tiny connectors on here. Especially when they put a piece of solid solid heat sheath on there which doesn't bend. Right, there we go, there's front audio connector, that's the USB one installed. Right, so USB 3 header is the next one. We've got a USB 3 header down the bottom. No, we don't. Well, that's a shame. Would have been nice to have it down the bottom, but such is life. Right, okay, we can't use that grommet. We'll have to go through there. Right, so that's the USB 3 plumbed in, and comes down to the little I/O pins. Tweezers room any of us with fat fingers. Definitely, bro. It's not, it weren't even a case of fat fingers for that one, to be honest. It was the manufacturer. It was down, that was down due to the manufacturer not they had stuck some heat shrink around the end of the cable, and the cable was like, the heat shrink was solid, not bendable. Okay, what's going on here? Mr. Reset switch is hiding. Where are you hiding, you little fucker? It's still bloody hiding. Look, there it is. You little shitbag. Get up there. Get up there. Right, we got all of it this time. Where the fuck? I know how to wire that. I know how to wire it up. Where is the fucking? Where on this motherboard is the connector? Well, you're clearly talking out your arse, Corsair, because you're telling me that there is a hard drive LED indicator. There's not. There is only a reset switch, power switch, and an LED. There is not a HDD LED connector there at all. So you fucking lying. Right, so that's absolute toot. Let's head up. JPS head up. Comms. Where the fuck is the... How fucking weird. Been lurking for a while. No worries, Taz. So this is fucking stupid. So where is the fucking... I can't see the label for the front. This is fucking stupid. Even online, it's not showing you where it is. See, look, there's a whole forum dedicated asking where this fucking connector is. Is it going to be somewhere fucking different? I've never known it to be anywhere different other than down in that bottom corner, but it's definitely not in the bottom corner. So they've basically so nobody has the answer on this forum. I've just downloaded the manual, but even the manual doesn't tell you what the fuck. I'm looking for the front I/O connections, the front panel audio connections. Oh, here we go. All right. So they're normally down on the bottom right of the board, but this one hasn't got any label to say. So that's USB connector. That's USB connector. That's 24 pin connector. Thunderbolt connector. JFP1. This is called JFP1. Why do they not just call it front panel? JFP2. So I'm guessing that one there is JFP1. JFP1. What the fuck? Say motherboard cable, case, wires are. Yeah, I get that, but normally it will say F panel or something like that on it. And this one doesn't have F panel written on it. It has JFP1, which I wasn't looking for that. I was looking for F panel. I'll get that one out of the way for the time being. So every bloody motherboard's different, and I don't. Yeah, MS. I don't generally build. Say this is probably the first. This is the first MSI motherboard I've done in a long time. So most of the builds I do are ASUS. Now I know what I'm actually freaking looking for. I can do the rest of it just fine, but think the last time I built a computer with an MSI board in it was fucking hell, a long time ago. Probably one of the first builds, one of the first water cool builds that I built for my mate. So he's a right old MSI fanboy, he is. So I've never really been an MSI fan, to be honest. See, if all manufacturers just came together and called all the fucking plugs the same thing, it wouldn't be so much of a problem. I know, Captain Dickhead, I'm going to call this connector a different thing. Right, that can fuck off over the other side. Come here, you. Give it here now. Come on. Thank you. Do. Come on, Mr. Amazon man. Where the fuck are you? I need the rest of the computer parts. Oh, will you stop being a fucking cock end all your life? Why do they put fucking hard plastic sheathing on the end of the fucking cable so you can't bend it? It needs to be bent to go onto the connector. Just give me fucking strength, man. Right, there we go. That's that. One step at a time now. They have only just got together on the plug types. Need to wait at least 30 years for labels to be the... You ain't wrong, mate. Honestly, it's fucking so annoying. Like I said, like a majority of the builds that I've built have all been ASUS motherboards, and they're so simple. You just look, and the labels are there. You plug them into the corresponding labels, but I just don't understand why all manufacturers don't go, right, we're going to just use one proprietary name and be done with it. And actually label the boards the same. Right, so that's all of the front panel connectors done. We will be moving on to putting the... That's far too... You fucking know that, Noddy. Right. I need a drink for a start before we carry on. Right, here, Nod, I'll show you something else as well that gets on my tits. Right, so we'll get you closer to the case. Don't know if you can see in there. Can you see? Just like doing us any justice. Right, you see this wire down here? So you can see the plug goes into the motherboard there. And then it comes out and it has to do a like almost a half moon bend to go back down through the hole in the back of the fucking case there. Why manufacturers do not go in front of the socket and make the slit in front of the socket there, so it comes out the socket and then it goes straight down. But it has to do like a half moon loop to go back down through the cutout on the board or on the case. It's the same for this connector over here. So this connector over here, which is the audio connector, has to do the same thing. Has to come out of the socket and then do it like a half moon and then go back down in through the hole in the case. Why not extend these slots like, you know, not even an inch? Extend these forward so these cables drop straight down. Doesn't make any sense. So you can see the wire right there. So it comes off of the socket and then loops back on itself and then goes through the hole. You know, why not have a slit right there so I could have come up through the slit and straight into the socket? You know, now you've got all of this ugly wire sticking out for no apparent reason. I say I totally get that this bottom shield needs to connect to the back of the case for strength. I totally get that. But like I said, if they had come through, I mean, let me go and get a tape measure. They must think you have a Dremel to make extra holes. Well, they're fucking thick. I mean, so from the connectors stick off the board by 1.5 centimeters off of the board. You can, well, unfortunately, this isn't mine, so I can't modify this in any way, shape, or form. This is being built for somebody else. But the connector sticks off the board, including the metal pin, by 1.5 centimeters off of the board, and they have cut the hole to 2 centimeters. If they had brought the hole to, so this connector, if they had brought the hole to 3 centimeters, the cables would have come directly straight off the board and then down. So you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense. If they know that the proprietary connector that goes onto there, like the USB is going to stick out by 3 centimeters. Why not make the depth from the backboard to the front, the bottom grommet, 3 centimeters? It just doesn't make sense. And they can't say that this doesn't happen with every fucking motherboard. It will happen with every motherboard, other than if you're running a mini ITX or ATX board in here, where the board's going to be like halfway up here. So then the connector will come off and go straight down. But this case states that it can go up to an ATX motherboard, which this is. But it's just the clearance is absolute dog shit. Like, if you know that the connectors have got to go there, why not make it just a little bit bigger? 1 centimeter, or not even that, just under 1 centimeter. But it is what it is, I guess. I mean, just to tidy it up, like, for me, you know, I would have loved this to gone straight down, so I don't see the cables looping back around. But I guess it might just be me. I don't know if it annoys other people. You know, it definitely annoys me, because when I build a computer for somebody, or even for myself, I want it to be visually appealing. I want it to look nice. You know, I don't go out and spend thousands of pounds on a computer for it to look like a sack of shit. You know what I mean? I'm not saying this computer by any means is going to look like a sack of shit, but I'm saying the fact of Corsair couldn't move this cut another centimetre out when there's plenty of fucking room to do so. Right, so like I said, we are putting a 700 watts course. It's not a Corsair, it is a Cooler Master, sorry. Yep, 700 watt Cooler Master power supply into this PC. Yeah, say Radar, I mean, like I said, I mean, just for the aesthetics alone, you know, like it would be nice for them to just make that cut out a little bit bigger. You know, like I said, it's just 1 centimetre bigger. That's all that it needs. But unfortunately, big companies don't want to listen to the small man. The small man doesn't matter. As long as they're making money, they don't give a shit. I am kind of drifting away from Corsair cases, as some of their ideas are strange to me. Well, I mean, I love a Corsair case. I mean, I have built a lot of PCs into Corsair cases over my time of building PCs, and 9 times out of 10, people ask, you know, like that. Soon as we get talking about building a PC for somebody or whatever, the first thing that comes out of their mouth is, "Oh, I want the case to be Corsair. I want Corsair RGBs. I want the Commander Pro, and I want, you know, the fan controller and the fan hub, and so on and so forth." So it's just one of those things. You've got to please the client. The client is the one that is paying for the project to be done. So, you know, you have to do what the client wants. Yo, Mr. Jingles in the house. How's your PC getting on today, Mr. Jingles? You reinstalling everything? I mean, I went to one company not so long ago to get some parts, and I asked them for a Corsair power supply, and they laughed at me, and I was like, "What the fuck are you laughing at?" He turned around and goes, "Oh, Corsair power supplies are shit, blah blah blah. They over a long period of time, they don't output the wattage that they say on the box, da 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 da." And the funny thing about it is, all of the PCs that I own in my house all run Corsair power supplies. So in my living room, there is 3 PCs. They all have Corsair power supplies in them. You know, the PC that's currently in Lacey's room, this one that's sitting at the back here, that also has Corsair power supply in it. But this guy was adamant that Corsair power supplies are shit, and I was just like, okay. Nice one, Jingles. That's what I wanted to hear. So now that your Windows is all cleaned up, you can get all your games and stuff reinstalled, and you'll be a very, very happy chappy all over again. I'll say over the last couple of weeks, this is actually the third PC that I've built. I built Lacey's one, which is the back one here, and then I also built the one that's in front here, which is Dean's PC, it's getting collected tomorrow, and then I'm now building this one. So I've been a very, very busy boy. Right, so that is the CPU. Yes. CPU wire there. So unjumble this first. Right, I just need to move that screen because the for some reason I'm getting glare on screen. It feels weird seeing my hard drive with blue lines instead of red. Well, it certainly makes your computer run a lot smoother when they're blue instead of red. Yo, Mr. Special K in the house. How you doing, David boy? Right, well, I've never ever used a Cooler Master power supply before, and I've just noticed something really, really weird. That I mean, this is a 24-pin cable. Can you guys see this? This is a 24-pin cable that is made up of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 separate fucking cables. What the fuck is that? The fuck? Look, all the other ones are all braided together. Look. So that's PCIe. That's another PCIe, and then you got the SATA Molex and another SATA. What the fuck is that? That's like spaghetti fucking junction gone wrong. Oh mate, I don't like that. Not at all. That is fucking hideous. Why? What the fuck? That is absolutely fucking garbage. Oh, mate. I don't like that one bit, Noddy. I don't. I know what I'd be doing if that was mine. I'd be buying fucking cable extensions to hide the fucking thing. Yeah, that would not be showing inside my case, that's for sure. Wait till you plug the 12-volt into the graphics card. I've already seen, that's fucking horrible looking as well. It's fucking jank. I'm trying to get the graphics wire up through the grommet in the case right now. That's what I'm currently doing. And then all of this proprietary bollocks can be hidden in the back. Yeah, if that was my 24-pin, I'd be buying cable extensions to fucking hide it. That's jank. got to be one of the worst ones I've seen to date, Noddy. Oh, mate. It all falls down as well and all separates in the fucking grommet. Well, I know what we'll be fucking doing with that. See this? That is absolutely fucking jank. Cable tie time, boys. Get the thing of the cable. There we go. It's not very nice, but I don't fucking blame you, Noddy. I say I've never seen nothing fucking like it. I'll just wrap the cable tie around it because it keeps separating through the grommet. It's fucking jank. So then what we'll do is we'll twist the cable tie around so the little cable tie bit goes round the back so you can't see the bobbly bit. Right, now it'll be time to get out the graphics card. It's only a little baby 1660, but it will certainly do the job. There we go. Little Wimforce GTX 1660. Little baby card. And I could not even use a Corsair modular cable because they were different and older standard. Well, you saying that, this PC, you can see this PC that's at the front closest to the camera here, right? So that's got a modular power supply in it, and it's made by Gigabyte, I believe. No, EVGA, sorry, it's made by EVGA. So it's a modular power supply, and it only had one SATA cable with 3 SATA connectors. So when you then go and fill a case full of RGBs, it requires the SATA connection to power the Commander Pro for all the Corsair RGBs. So I plumbed all of that in, and then when I plumbed all of that in, I then went to plug the hard drive in and then realised I didn't have enough connectors. So I went into my box of spares. I will grab my box of spares and show you. So this box right here, let's budge this out of the way for a minute. So this box right here, which my 360mm radiator water cooler came in for my rig PC, is full of all of these goodies. So we've still got all the instruction manuals for all the various different motherboards and stuff that we've done. So inside here we have, you know, modular cables. So this is a SATA cable. So you've got 1, 2, 3 extra SATA connections. And it's also a 6-pin, which is the standard for peripherals for a modular power supply. So I plugged this in to the EVGA power supply and the computer wouldn't even turn on. So I unplugged it and the PC booted up just fine. So I then messaged Dean, the guy that I was rebuilding the PC for, and I asked him, when he originally purchased the PC, did the guy give him a bag of wires for the modular power supply? His response was, I have no idea what you're talking about. So I sent him back a picture of the modular cables and asked him, you know, again, did he get any of these cables when he bought the PC? His response was no. I said, well, we're kind of up shit's creek because we can't power your all of your stuff because we don't have a spare. Oh, we're going down, right? Yeah, so we don't have a spare SATA. So I looked online and I looked for EVGA modular power supply cables to be sold separately, and I couldn't find any. So I was like, okay, fair enough, we can't do that. So then I just ordered a 2-to-1 modular, 2-to-1 splitter cable for SATA connection. So yeah, we are waiting on Mr. Amazon Man to deliver that 2-to-1 SATA cable, and once that's done, this build at the front here, Dean's PC, is complete. And then on Saturday we'll be picking that one up, and later today I'm waiting for Mr. Amazon Man to deliver me a white water cooler to go in here, plus 6 white fans. And then this build will pretty much be done as well. So overall, everybody's happy. And my daughter also comes home tomorrow from her mum. She's been there for the last 3 weeks. She doesn't know that we've redecorated her bedroom, and she also doesn't know that I built her a PC. So again, it is going to be another surprise that she now has her own PC in her bedroom. Right. Ugh. Wow. Wow. What the fuck is going on here? Yeah, you was right, Noddy. You was right. This is all jank, isn't it? Wow, what the fuck? Okay, so at least we can split them cables off of there. Yeah. That is rather jank. Noddy was right. Janky Doodle went to town riding on a pony. Get the fucking zip ties out and we can maybe fix it. Right, again, hide the bobbly bit behind the wire so it's not exposed. Cable ties fix everything, Noddy. Cable ties fix everything. I had to plug 2 of these into my graphics card, so you can imagine how it... That's how it looked. Well, I run all custom cables in my rig PC, and I will be buying some nice custom cables to go in the desk PC, because the desk PC is being all pulled apart again soon because it's having a case upgrade and all of those sort of things. Noddy, look at that. Let's bring it closer for you to see. See, I told you cable ties fix everything, bro. Right, is there anything else that we can actually do? I just literally need to put the water cooler and the fans in and we're done. Water cooler, fans, and oh, actually we can plug one of these SATA cables in. This fit in here. Goes through there. Right, well, unless Mr. Amazon Man is planning to turn up anytime soon, check out where my order is. Well, it says between 3:15 and 5:15, so I kind of gave up because it's an old PC, so I upgrade. Yeah, as I say, that's the thing, you know, with an older system and that. As I say, I don't think Mr. Amazon Man's going to turn up, so I think that is going to be the end of this video for now, I guess, because there ain't no point hanging around till. Oh, actually, there's one more cable we need to plug in quickly. That's the CPU power. And again, this is another connector that does my tits in as well. So it has to come in through the top of the case, and it has to do a 90-degree twist to go into the socket. But other than that, we're done. I suppose I could take some photos and send it to the guy quickly before we go. Let's see if he replies. He's active. He's active. We'll see if he replies. So what's the plans for the upgrades then, Noddy? MOBO CPU RAM, nice. So I've just done the desk PC. That's on a that's on an i7 11700. Yeah, I think it's 11700, or is it 11900? I can't. One of the two. So 11th gen i7 CPU. It's got a Z490 motherboard, 32 gigs of RAM. It's going to be a graphics card update for me next. I want a 3080 or a 3090 to go into the desk. The rig PC currently has a i9-9900K in the rig, Z390 motherboard, and 32 gigs of RAM, and a 2080 Super. Oh, look at that. There's always got to be one knobhead that dislikes a video. We call them super likes because they're super losers. But yes, there is the PC all built. I wish he would reply. Because I don't want to send any pictures off to him just in case he's with his missus. Oh, and to replace the PSU again because the cables suck. Yeah, the cables certainly do suck, mate. Let's say if I ever bought one of these for my case, like I said, all of the wiring would be hidden in the back of the case, and there would be nice cable extensions. You know, either white cable extensions, especially since it's a white build. But yeah, right. Well, guys and girls, we're going to love you and leave you. So thank you very much for joining me. And as always, I've been Dr. Dave. You guys have been amazing. Thanks for stopping by, Noddy and everybody else that's in the stream right now. And we will catch up with you later on. I say there will be some pictures going up onto YouTube social of Dean's PC. I've got a load of photos of that to go up. And then once this one is finished being built, there will be some photos of this one going up onto YouTube socials as well. So make sure you catch up on the YouTube socials. So you can also message me there if you need any information about computing or any help. You can jump over to the Discord. I'm sure there is a link below, or on one of my older videos, there certainly is a link there. Yeah, take it easy, Tezza, Noddy, and everybody else. Take it easy, and we'll catch up with you later, guys. Bye for now.